another episode of the PES-Association Football Podcast. I'm Kevin.
I'm Natchai.
And we're back once again post June 17th, when everything changed.
It's when the Fire Nation attacked.
Yes, with fire.
Yeah, lots of it.
And a general sense of misunderstanding.
Yeah,
I feel.
really.
So yes, the update happened, and the response has been, I think, say mixed would be generous.
Yeah, mixed towards the negative side.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely people who see where this is coming from, and to those people, thank you.
Yes.
You'll be the source of comfort in these days. But ultimately, we know a lot of people aren't happy because they can't really see what the changes has really occurred. So we'll start with the question, I think, of where are coins?
Yeah, as we've continuously have been saying on Facebook and the forums and everywhere, basically, coin rewards are not giving on tour anymore, which is causing some major concern.
Yeah, because a lot of people are going, oh, where are coins from tour, and I can't get coins from tour. A lot of the senior people seem to be saying this as well, and these are the senior people who are saying that they couldn't get anything else from tour because they were done with tour. So yeah. I'm a bit confused by that, to be honest. But no, coins are not in tour anymore. You get coins from log on because we doubled the log on bonus. So it's now 1,000 coins a day.
And eight scouting tickets.
And 8 scouting tickets, which is important to remember. You've got a lot more scouting tickets now for freely, readily available to use. The thing that I've been going on about a lot is how much it's more of a guaranteed income now. Mm-hmm. Before with tour, I mean, guys were saying, "Hey, I could get this many coins before from tour." Except on those days where you were stuck in the tournament, or you were in a high energy nodes, and you failed the first match. You didn't get exactly much in the way of coins in those situations. So you have more of a guaranteed income now, and you still gain coins from tour when you level up. You still gain the 1,000 for that. Mm-hmm. So it's still very much worthwhile going through tour in order to do that. We'll come back to tour in a minute, but. So you have that. You have the loyalty card, which is also linked to login. Yeah,
from which you can still receive gold players.
You can still receive gold players. That hasn't been touched.
No.
At all. The amount's the same. You get coins from that. You can get more tickets. Energy as well. Lots of energy. Boots. Remember, boots are worth 1,000 coins. Yeah. So that's a lot, and of course there's 1,000 coin rewards themselves. So there's still a lot of opportunity there for you. Again, if you're logging in every day, then you'll get that anyway. People are saying, "Yeah, well, we have to log in now." You kind of had to log in anyway to get anything, because you have to log in to play the game. We had a few of those. It's like, but before I could play tour, and now I have to actually just log in. It's like, well, how are you playing the game beforehand that required you to not even log in to do this stuff? So you have guaranteed coins, and you don't really have to work for them now, which is the main thing. Mm-hmm. Where else do you get coins from? Well, at the end of the season, you'll get coins depending upon how well you did in the cup and the league, and
how well your individual players have been doing.
Yeah, your individual players, which is new.
Yeah. It is new. The entire ranking system and the top scorer and top assists and top match rated players are now getting rewards for that. Yeah,
for the first 3 positions will net you some coins. Yeah. And very handy those will be. And ultimately, so you've got that going on. Actually, a little caveat with the ranking. I know we put this into the post, but. You'll only get the reward if your guy has been in 2/3 of the season. Yeah. This is to stop somebody coming in, having a 5-star match with one game, and then having an average rating of 5, and that wouldn't do any good. So that's what we're doing about that. It's 2/3 of the season you have to be in. I don't think he would even show up actually in the table.
No, probably not.
I think, which actually answers somebody's question that I saw in the forum earlier in regard to, but there's these 2 or 3 players who are the same. But what if I've also got a player who's this many goals or what have you? In the case of the goals, it'd be whoever scored them out goals first.
Yeah.
Or in the quickest or less amount of games, it's on that sort of priority. So you've got more coin opportunity there with this new item. Achievements still give you coins.
Yeah.
Speaking of achievements, we're looking at hopefully at some point in the future getting some more achievements in there. I know you guys would love some more. We think that we need to have some more achievements. Yeah. I wrote a ridiculous amount the other day for consideration.
If you guys would have seen Kevin's email to the developers listing the achievements that could be in there, you'd be very happy.
You'd be very proud of me, guys, I think. And it covered all bases. It covered tour, hopefully some relating to tour, some relating to league positioning, some relating to players and what happens with them. A little bit of a cushion for when bad things are happening on some of them, and just taking advantage of some of the new things that have been introduced into the game.
Yeah.
So you can get coins via achievements still. So keep checking that you've not got something that you can claim. Because there's always, because you scroll down the window, and I've done this, and you've done this, and then all of a sudden there's just one there that you've just somehow missed, and it's something that's been there probably for ages, but because just from scrolling through, your eye just sort of blanks it completely, and you miss it. So it really is worth checking out. But
our wall is knocking.
Our wall is knocking, is it? Well, we can keep.
It's the spirit of Chow again.
If the wall is knocking. Keep on rocking. Exactly. There we go. I don't know what the hell was up with that. Is that next door? I don't know. I say next door. Next door would be the sky. So perhaps it is. Perhaps it is the spirit shower. He is among us again. He's not happy.
No.
So achievements and the other item that you can get in terms of coins. What was the other item? I've completely forgotten.
Leveling up and giveaways.
Leveling up giveaways. Yes, you may still get coins from giveaways. In fact, you'll probably see them slightly more often now.
Yeah.
Now that we're in a situation where we have a setup that we can sort of work with and plan, you'll probably see coin giveaways more often on the Facebook, etc. Unless people react to them in a very childish way, and then they just won't do them.
Yeah.
Like they have so far.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does make us less likely to do so many such giveaways. Keep an eye out for anything that's relating to PES-AF actually, just in general. If there's like an interview or something going on, because we tend to give them a little link. Yeah, reward. This is not a hint at all that there's an interview or something coming up, that there's a link on there that you can click for coins. Not a hint at all, but we're just saying that those tend to have some sort of giveaway link that we give to people.
Yeah. And as always, we're always interested in responding to any fan-made pages and sites and blogs and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So. Give us a message, guys. You can give us a message more often than "this is wrong."
Yeah.
or
if you
something
want to hear
very
why it's not wrong, you can contact us.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so other things involved in the game that were sort of notable that we should probably raise at this time was the inclusion of stamina.
Yeah, which was kind of last minute for us as well.
Yeah, that was a bit. It's the foundation of things to come.
Yeah. You guys are asking for substitutions. This is one way to get there. Already.
So now you know, guys, when you look at a stamina value, it is in relation to how sort of quickly they could be substituted.
Yeah.
This will mean other stuff in time, I'm sure, when the game develops, and and at some point down the line, we'll probably have something that either increases or decreases that number, which you will then have to manage.
Yeah.
And then the game will be ruined because people might get tired.
It's funny because a lot of people are actually asking for fatigue and injury.
Yeah, but people have been asking for injuries. Can you imagine how angry that you will get with us when you buy a player and after one match he's injured?
For the entire season.
He's out for a season. Yeah, we're looking forward to that, guys. We want this. Why is this happening? We want this where specific bad things can only happen.
Yeah.
There is nothing good coming out of injuries.
No.
And nothing good coming out of your players getting tired. So, yeah.
But it is more realistic.
It's more realistic, but bear that in mind when you're asking for it. Because you'll turn around and go, why is all this negative stuff happening in the game? And there is actually no good aspect about that, for that inclusion for your players.
I can just see the comments rolling in. Why is my Giggs injured?
Why is your Giggs injured? Because he's Giggs, and he pulls his hamstring once a season. And this is my man red theory. It depends on when Giggs pulls his hamstring in the season as to whether or not Man Red will win the championship.
Exactly.
If he pulls his hamstring right at the beginning of the season, if he's out for his little 3-month period at the beginning of the season, Man Red will win the championship. If he pulls it from like the middle of the season onwards, oh no, it's somebody else who's going to win it. One of the London teams will win it,
or Man Blue.
Or Man Blue. But it's surprising actually how true that is if you look historically. Yeah. It is literally almost directly comparable. So how was your season last season?
Really, really bad.
Yeah, tell the ladies and gents where you were at one point.
I was last at one point. I think about at the halfway mark I was 18th or something. And I was just really close to relegation. But I was saving up all my resources to go into season 10. Because obviously we knew what was going to happen because we read what we wrote.
It didn't do me any good whatsoever knowing that, because I don't have much in the way of resources, and I'm completely stuffed now this season. But last season for me, it was a bit of a season.
You placed 5th or something, right?
I think I did in the end, but I was always around mid-table. I'm probably going to be mid-table, if not top 12 this season. I'm sort of hanging on, really. It's very much a case of go and see if I can get through tour a lot and get some level ups.
That's guaranteed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ended up placing 16th, I think, like just out of the relegation zone.
I helped you out, actually.
Yeah, you actually won.
Yeah, Wolf Team FC were the ones fighting with Natchai to avoid relegation, and it just so happens that my second to last game was against Wolf, and I beat them. So it didn't. Yeah, but it was just it was a weird situation. Actually, last season for me was the first time that I started seeing, for my team, a lot more score reversals. So whereas my team just normally goes mad on goals, there was a lot more of those type of results going against me.
I've had that as well, yeah.
Now, nothing's changed in the game, and that's just mainly because my players are getting older and not doing as well. I've had to change a couple of bits around. My attack is brilliant. I'm just not very happy with my. The top of the pitch and the bottom of the pitch and the middle of the pitch are fine. It's just the defence and the attacking midfielders are not doing as well as they were. And that's a bit of a problem. Although not nearly as big of a problem as I've got this season.
Yeah.
Or rather at the end of this season.
What was it, 12
Yeah,
contract renewals?
12 contract renewals. You guys complaining that you haven't got the money to do 5 contract renewals, which by the way, you wouldn't have been able to do before the update.
Exactly.
A lot of people coming in and saying, hey, it's all about, you just want us to spend money on these players and what have you. It's like, if we hadn't have done the update, you'd have still not had the amount of coins and not been able to do that.
The 80,000 that you would pay this season
would
be like 300,000 last season.
It's and that would have been for transfers as well.
Exactly.
Under the old payment scheme, and things are cheaper now. Contract renewals probably aren't as cheaper as people would like. But it's still fluctuating. At one point it was going to be more static, but it's still fluctuating up and down. So check back every day.
Yeah.
If it seems ridiculous, don't pay it.
Yeah.
If it's a high-level player and they want many seasons, that could be probably why he costs a lot of money. Mm-hmm. People complaining about Balotelli. We were mentioning this earlier, actually. In real-life football, Balotelli is like, oh, why is it always me? From our point of view, the last couple of weeks, it's why is it always Balotelli? He's gone missing, or he's he's gone missing. I've bought him and he's not, and he's disappeared. He's gone AWOL from the team. He's got the wrong rating. He's not performing well, or he's got sent off 5 times. Or
we actually had a player at the same time with another player who was complaining about his Balotelli being missing. He
found the Balotelli, didn't he?
He found a random Balotelli. And we were like, huh?
A random Balotelli appeared.
I don't know if he was super effective, though. But
no. But the fact of the matter was, I mean, the one recently was like, he's cost me like 8,000. How am I supposed to afford 8,000 for this contract renewal? It's like, well, why is it that much? Well, he's a 92 player, so he's not just gold. He's a high-level gold player.
Yeah.
He's a red player. He's 8,000. He didn't tell us how many seasons that was. It's at least 2 on the basis of that. Could potentially be 3 if he's a bit lucky.
Yeah.
But ultimately, those type of players will cost you more to keep hold of. It costs you more money to buy them. It shouldn't be beyond the realms of logical thought that it'll cost you more to renew them.
Exactly.
But yeah, to re-emphasise that, it's cheaper. It is cheaper.
It is cheaper.
The only thing that's slightly more expensive with either of those is actually the lowest low end of transfers.
Yeah.
Went up slightly, so you won't have any more of these like 800 gold players. 800 coin players. You won't have that anymore. So that's been upped a little bit to make it slightly less silly. But the actual overall price is much, much lower than it was.
I mean, when you're seeing screenshots of Messi and Rooney costing in the realms of 7,000 coins for great. For a good few seasons, I mean...
That's a great deal.
Yeah. You couldn't have imagined that before the update.
No, that would have been 15.
Yeah.
That would be double that. Double that for 3 seasons, and you're looking at 19. That would be about 18 or 19k.
Yeah.
For 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I've got 12 contract renewals. I've got no idea what the heck I'm going to do. Not a clue. Some I can let go. I've done what we've been saying to people to do is, if you've got lots of contract renewals, is start doing what you're going to have to do from now on, which is pick a couple of guys that you want to focus on as definitely ones you want to try and get contract renewals for. Mm-hmm. Move through the season with those 2 or 3 in mind, and either get them and then use whatever you've got remainder to get new players and fresh blood in the meantime, because it is cheaper to buy new players.
It is.
So I have bought a new player whose name escapes me to replace Walcott. Now, Walcott is not one of my players that is actually needs a contract renewal yet. So you might be asking why I'm doing him. And the answer is that because of the lack of coins readily available, in fact that I've got to focus on these other ones, this is the first season where I've got no boots whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Now, I could have done some boots and a couple of boots for some attackers, but I wanted to see what would happen this season, because this is almost like what my true team is like, without any of the boosters or anything like that. So how do they perform? And the answer is okay. But Walcott is performing bad, and Walcott he's optimized, he's in position properly, and it might be one of those cases where he just doesn't like that formation after all.
Yeah.
The boots counteracted it before, and he performed okay. Without the boots, he's got an average of about 1.7, which in my team is ridiculous, and something needs to be done about it. But he's in his strongest position, according to stuff in it. But it's obviously, without the boots, he's not nearly as good as I thought he was. If only there was some place where we had that sort of information.
Exactly.
Regarding the player. If only we'd added something into the game, which no one's really taken much notice of, despite it being absolutely brilliant. Tell everyone about the rankings, Natchai.
So, the ranking system that we have in place now is... I mean, it already is fantastic. What it basically does is it gives you information of your team for this season, for all time. It also gives you information on all your friendly matches. But the most important part of the ranking system is, of course, that you can find players. So, for instance, if you have Walcott in your team and you say, maybe he's not liking this formation after all, you can actually select him in your team and see your standing in regards to other players who have Walcott as well, and what kind of formations they're using.
Yeah. So, who has the best Walcott in the game?
Exactly.
Where's he being played? How is he being played? Who's he playing with? Yeah.
You can see all of that. And it's something that all of our players seem to have glanced over.
Yeah. We're by the time this goes out, we'll have made a big song and dance about this even more.
Yeah.
But we do really want you to just go, look at this! This is brilliant! And look at all the statistical data, and it is this which is tied into Tor.
Yeah.
Because the more you progress in Tor now, the more stuff you will learn, and the more stuff will appear in that tab.
Yeah.
But you can see everybody's team. You can, one of the things that got added in was that there are now specific areas and leagues within that. So if you know that your friend is in area, area 6, Division J, Division J1, say, then you can sort of find out all his information. Well, you need to find out information anyway if he's a friend, but you can generally find out other people as well who are not on your friends list, and you can find them through this tool, and you can have friendlies with them.
Yeah.
So, hint, if you guys actually wanted to play friendlies against us, and we have had quite a few people request this actually.
Yeah. We're in Area 1.
Area 1H, I think.
I think that doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
I think they can just look up Area 1 and they'll find us.
Look up the players at the top and you'll find us. Yes. Actually, well, not at the moment you won't.
No, not at the moment.
But yeah, you can find us on there, and then you can click on it. You can see what we're doing with our team. You may want to. You may want to let us know subsequently how terrible you think our teams are.
Yeah.
But don't do that because we'll.
Well, there's that post on the forum. I don't know if you saw that of Berkeley Finance. Toddy?
Well, Berkeley Finance.
Yeah.
Berkeley Finance. Would that be this screenshot that I've got here?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's photoshopped.
You're pretty sure?
I can tell by the pixels.
Look, I'm just going to skip to this question now, because this is one of the questions
yeah.
that was from Toddy. I would like to ask Nat. Why do they keep calling you Nat, by the way?
I don't know.
His name's not Nat. It's like, it's, you know, I don't even call him Nat.
In my native language, what he called me means wet. So, I don't know what that's all about.
Okay, I would like to ask Natchai, what are his comments on this screenshot? Is it photoshopped?
Well, I mean, it's clearly photoshopped because
it's not. It's Toddy's. Yeah, it's clearly photoshopped because he's just, you know,
he's wiped
blanked out
the names.
the names. So it's clearly photoshopped in that sense. But the score, Natchai, which is Barclay Finance FC 6, PES-AF Natchai 0.
Yeah.
Yes. Crikey, this wasn't good for you, was it?
No, I think my players were asleep on the pitch.
Okay, no, I can't really go. Obviously, I can't show you guys this who are listening in, but so you didn't perform all that badly.
No,
in terms of ratings, everyone had a 3 except for a couple of players.
Mm-hmm.
The goalkeeper, despite letting in 6, had a 4. So, but then again, he was under quite a lot of pressure, I believe.
13 shots on goal.
Yeah,
from Berkeley Finance.
They had 22 shots, Berkeley Finance. 13 of them were on target. You had 3 shots on goal, and 1 of those were on target. So, I don't know, you got a 33% success rate on target. Goalkeeper made 7 saves. You had the majority of the possession.
Yeah, I did.
There was a foul. Oh dear.
I think he just countered me, like a lot. But, yeah.
Yeah, oh god, that's not very good.
No, and I mean, it's my last season's team, so they performed really badly as well.
Yeah,
I think
so. Well done.
Yeah, well done.
Well done, Toddy. Toddy, by the way, is our English-speaking manager of the month, which is something that we've introduced in the forum. That the person who impresses us the most over the month in terms of their post, and this is not to say the person who agrees with all our stuff, because Toddy doesn't agree with a lot of things that are going on with the game, but presented facts and arguments. I'm assuming Toddy's a he, so apologies if you're not. But presented all the arguments in such a way, in very clear, concise, didn't descend into rage because you don't agree with me. Mm-hmm. You suck because of that. No, it's and we're rewarding that now. Mm-hmm. So there's somebody in the Spanish forum who's also going to get that, which I've not yet to add. But so once a month we're going to be doing this. Those people will be getting. I think it was 1,000 coins and a pair of boots, because it's the closest I can get to giving you a golden boot trophy. So 1,000 coins and a pair of boots, so 2,000 coins worth of reward, and that's just for being decent, and engaging correctly on the forum.
Exactly.
But some more Toddy questions in a bit.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh. In fact, we've kind of done all the updates of note.
I think so.
Were any bugs that we need to...
Yeah, there were a few bugs. The Christmas Champion achievement.
Yes, there was, wasn't there?
Which is being fixed. The friends not showing up in the list for gifting and unlocking is also being fixed. This is actually already fixed on our test servers, but we're still running a few tests. Before we can implement it into the game, so expect that shortly, hopefully.
You just want to double check that that's all working correctly.
Exactly.
And that'll go live. Speaking of things that will be fixed very soon, the excuse me, Loxu asked me a question, among other things, regarding the Bastia formation.
With the key players.
And because apparently there weren't any key players for that. Mm-hmm. And Turns out Loxu is correct. There isn't at this time any key players for that, so that got it got overlooked, or it wasn't implemented properly. Something happened. Something happened, and the key players were left out. So that will be put into the game very soon indeed.
Yep.
So they've got to be chosen first of all. If they weren't chosen, they've got to be chosen and put in, and making sure that key players are working effectively for that formation, and then it will be rolled into the game. So if you're using Bastia at the moment, you may want to try and use something else.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting a key player advantage.
Yeah.
So Loxu will already have known this, but for anyone else, if you're using Bastia, check that there are key players active.
Another bug that is being looked at is the Galatasaray mystery, as we call it.
The Galatasaray mystery.
Yeah.
Josip brought that one to our attention, didn't he? Yes, this is when you go in tour, and in the preview, you'll notice that they're playing...
Your opponent is playing the Galatasaray
formation. And then when you get to the actual game, they're not. And there's two or three players that have been getting this, where every single tour game is they're in the Galatasaray formation. Oh wait, no, they're not. And it just so happens that as we reported this, our sort of main contact at Konami in Japan said, I also have seen this and was wondering what was going on. So yeah, we're looking into this. It is a mystery. I think it's probably something to do with Tor and the Tor reset and that.
Probably
situation.
a leftover from the tutorial bug.
I think it's probably connected to that actually. Yeah, it would make sense. And what was the other thing that was changed? Oh, relating to Tor. Anyone else noticed that tournaments are gone?
Yeah, the mini tournaments. Surprise, surprise. They're all single matches now.
No one's mentioned that.
No.
And how that's probably made smiles across the nation and the continent and the globe that the tournaments are gone. They'll appear again down the line, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Perhaps in their own special thing as a part of... Perhaps it'll be a tournament node. Or it'll be a tournament tour. That you won't have them as part of the... There'll be tour, but you won't be like part of the tour of a ongoing one. It'll just be a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Anyway, question time.
Question time.
Question time with Kevin and Natchai. Coming to you live from the PES studios. Right. We had quite a few. We asked the question on... we asked whether or not you could sort of hand some questions for for this podcast, and once we cleared out all the people asking for more coins, because that wasn't actually a question. No. That's not a question. Give me more coins. Sort out the coin problem.
Can we get more coins?
Yes,
no,
not
at the moment.
Well, you can get more coins.
Yeah.
That's another thing to add to the coins. We have always mentioned, if you ask us a question saying, how do I get coins? When we list the coin methods you can get coins, we have always listed you can buy coins.
Yeah.
That has not changed since the day the game started.
No.
It is an option for you. You can buy coins. Complain to us that people who buy coins get more coins.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so, because that's kind of the transaction point.
Yeah.
It's a bit like saying the people who buy energy have more energy. It blows my mind. But yes, that is not us being profiteering, that's us informing you correctly. Yeah. Okay. I'm moving back on. So Edmund Mingle was the first one to have a question. Dear Natchai. He doesn't say Dear Natchai, but I'm going to say Dear Natchai anyway. Zombie teams are dominating my area's league. Which is more of a statement of the question. But what are we going to do about zombie teams, Natchai?
Well, we've gotten word from the developers. I don't actually know if we're allowed to say this already.
I think we are. Well, it's going to happen in the season, so we might as well explain the details now, I think.
So, at the start of next season, zombie teams will be taking out...
with a shotgun.
With a shotgun.
Yeah.
They're going to take out zombie teams not only in Amateur League, but they're going to take them out everywhere. So whatever division you're in, zombie teams, if they're there, they're going to be taken out. The way that we're going to fill up the holes is kind of a temporary measure, I would say.
It's the quickest and easiest way in terms of the game coding to do it, and it will be the one that causes the least problems as well.
Mm-hmm. So the way that we're going to do it is we're going to fill the holes from Division 5 to 1 with teams from that Amateur League.
Yeah. So there'll be promotions from the Amateur League as normal.
Yeah.
But the holes will be filled in a manner similar to when we've got a 1,200 team.
Yeah.
In the next one's down, we'll plug the gaps wherever. So they'll be a little out of sync, but it'll just be an active team.
Yeah.
Shuffling everybody up, would be a surprisingly long process to do.
Yeah.
And also it's kind of annoying for the people who are trying to actually work their way up legitimately up through the league system. So if all of a sudden you've been doing that and then you get promoted up an extra league and you miss out this one trophy, you're going to be pretty annoyed with everything. So yeah, at least there'll be active teams then.
Yeah. And the way that the Amateur League holes are going to get filled up is with new players.
Mm-hmm.
So they won't get automatically put into a new server.
No. Zombie teams, I think, will be put into some sort of pen.
Yeah.
And fed raw meat occasionally.
Some kind of underground facility.
And copies of... pulped copies of autobiographies from players that wrote them with absolutely no content in them. So, yeah, that's what's happening today. So something will be done.
Yeah.
But there's actually been quite a lot of discussion about zombie teams and people going on a holiday and what will be done with regard what constitutes a zombie team, which has been really good to see actually. Josip Kawai, Dibazal, all those guys in the forum, it's a really good proper discussion.
Yeah.
Oh dear God, we wish you could do that in the rest of the forum. But
we've had to step in a few times. So.
Too often.
Yeah.
Seriously, too often in the last month.
Yeah.
Really, saw it. And some of you are now, I'm pleased to say. But yeah, there's been a lot of good discussion about, hey, what constitutes this, and we've been involved in that. I'm not sure how many seasons or weeks was actually decided in the end, but don't worry, it's not if you've missed 2 weeks, it's going to be slightly more than that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's definitely those teams who are dead in the water and not doing anything. They'll be gone. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Edmund. Hartono Wijono says about the big updates and transfer windows. So will there be transfer windows, first of all?
No, not yet.
Not yet. We've seen a lot of people ask for that.
Yeah.
But the way that the game's going at the moment is more of you'll do more transfers over time as opposed to more transfers at the end or the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. So it's more of a continual process as opposed to a wait, go. That would put things back to a wait, go, which I don't think is what the dev team want.
No.
So I doubt it, and it'll put people out in case you miss the transfer window. If you are going on holiday for like 5 days and you miss the transfer window, yeah. And where will be the new area for tour after Spain? Smiley face.
We don't know yet.
Well, Spain's not even in the game yet. This is the Spanish tour, but the next two are, we believe to be the UK or England specifically. We're not sure which one it is, if it is UK or England. Mm-hmm. Or Spain, as we said. Which one will come first, I do not know.
Yeah, me either.
Tiago Quinas Miranda is a Portuguese player and asked the following question, which is a Portuguese question. I'm actually reading what this says here. Portuguese player, Portuguese question. Any thoughts for a sporting tactic?
I'm guessing this is Sporting Lisbon.
Sporting CP.
Okay.
So, I don't know, they're in the game, aren't they?
I don't think they're in the game already. They might come in the future.
I think they'd probably be one of the teams that would come in definitely in the future if they're not in the game already. At which point, I think it'd be quite nice to have a Portuguese tour. But it would depend obviously upon how many Portuguese teams we have, which can't be that many.
I don't know.
Wish we did. But I don't recall many in the way of Portugal. I think Portugal are in the same situation as Germany in that we've only got like a couple of them.
Yeah.
Because of one thing and another. Which actually leads on to Borussia Dortmund tactics, and again, we do not have Dortmund in the game.
No.
That is an ongoing concern in terms of us inquiring about that, as far as I'm aware. We know that you guys want those in the game.
Yeah, but it's a difficult licensing issue. Is all we can say for now.
Inquiries are being made.
Yeah.
And it's a case of watch this space.
Mm-hmm.
When we know, you will know. And Douglas Leonardo asks, I would love you to revise the energy issue because 10 minutes is a long time, as it is not giving more coins on tour. This long to recharge energy could be reduced from now. Thanks. Now, one of the things that's actually changing in tour soon is the addition of a sort of area of the week. I think it's of the week or every day. I can't remember now.
Every day, I think.
Okay, it's every day. In that on tour, there will be a tour area. One of the tours will be selected at random, I believe, and that tour area you will get double tickets on. So there will be other incentives for tour.
Yeah, but this is going to serve as placeholder until we get those other incentives in.
Because there's more things down the line.
Yeah.
I mean, with tour, and it's all linked in with ranking, and we can't tell you what it is. But that whole ranking, education, learning aspect, there's a reason we said it's all about that in tour from now on. And so that's coming down the line. But yes, you'll have to wait for that one, I'm afraid. As for reducing the energy, like I said, there's still benefits. Tour's still always been designed for 10 minutes. And you'll have this other advantage coming in soon. But ultimately, you can still get double XP. So yeah, you'll get double XP on this new thing. But otherwise, you can still get XP, which you can still translate to coins. So I know it's unlikely that that's going to change.
And the flux capacitor is still recharging.
Yeah, you and your cost-cutting measures to get a cheap flux capacitor. I had vouchers for that extra one. You do know that.
They were expired. They only last for 24 hours.
Indeed. Actually, little note, guys, if you do get a voucher, check, if you could get a ticket or something, check when the expiry is. Getting a lot of messages saying, hey, my ticket's disappeared. Yeah, they do have expiries on them, so you do need to use them eventually. So please keep an eye on that if you do have a special ticket or anything like that. And Nathan J gives this suggestion actually, which I think could be quite good. If we get by a stage in the cup, can we get part of the coin rewards then, as opposed to a lump sum at the end of the season? and says like an actual PES, so console version. It would make it easier to get better players and wouldn't unbalance the game. I think that's a good idea. So if you get past if you get into the last 16, you'll get the reward for the last 16. And then when you get into the quarters, you then get that rewards less what you had previously, and so on and so forth, up you go. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It would certainly give you more coins earlier.
Yeah, as opposed to all at the end. It's an interesting idea. Definitely.
So yeah, I did say in answer to this Facebook comment that we would discuss this. We're going to discuss this some more, Nathan, because we think it'd be useful. Adam Lewandowski says, will you be updating the ratings that players start off with, changing uniforms on transfers players, or putting new players in database sometime soon? Next season.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Next season, once the transfer window in the real world is out the way, then you can expect to see that.
Yeah.
They might do a couple of minor changes in the meantime, but I wouldn't expect anything big like that. I'm guessing that player pictures and assets and things will probably be updated in the game, in line with any changes with also PES 2014.
Possibly, yeah.
But we will have to wait and see on that one. Also, yay, us being in PES 2014.
Did any of you see that?
That was we asked about that ages ago, but it was news to us that we actually the game was advertised in it, which is great.
It's great because one of our community members actually saw it.
Yeah, that was the first
we were not aware of it at all, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Lola Milo asks in a very roundabout way if we're doing anything for 10 seasons in the game. Not currently. The big thing we did with the game was to
Update
it as we did. It's like, okay, this is what's been learned, and this is where the game needs to be. It's being moved over here. That's what happened. So, not necessarily, but somebody with a voice may have written something, and that may appear or may not in the game. That would entirely depend upon. But if it did, then I'm guessing it would look at how many seasons you've played the game and maybe give you something based upon that, in some sort of achievement-like fashion. And then you may get things for it, for getting the achievement, if you can call it that, which you probably could. Lots of other questions from various communities. A question from the Italian community, which is, will it ever be possible to exchange players with other users? I don't see it happening.
No.
Simply because there's multiple players and it is so abusable.
Yeah, it's very abusable.
Although, in fairness, not as abusable as it was. Because one of our things that we said about not doing that was because it was abusable in the sense that people could pay massively over the odds for things, and it would be more found farming coins. There is that limit on coins now, though, in terms of how many you can take through to the next season. That's not active, obviously, during the season itself, but obviously, the more the game shifts, the more the questions come back round again, and they have different answers. So, will it ever be possible? It's more likely than it was, but still no at the moment. And again, why did you take all the coin rewards away from Tour? Because we distributed the coins back to you, just in another form.
Yeah.
Why can't players improve when they're older? We should bring the age limit up to 25 or 27.
Like that. Well, we've mentioned this a few times already, that the aging system is very likely to change in the near future.
It's very likely, as in it is,
Yeah.
going to change. You guys were happy about it. We weren't entirely happy about it either. It's going to be much more of a progression. I think this got cut out of the last podcast, actually, where I actually explained it all, because it was all to do with the updates and that then subsequently changed. So, so I have already explained this once, but you guys haven't heard it. But the aim is that it'll be more of a gradual descent. Yeah. So before 23, if you renew a contract, the player will improve. All players will improve. After you get to, say, 24, there'll be a 90% chance of them improving. And so 20 and 25, it'll be 80%, 26, 17%, down, until you get to 32, and then that's zero. There's a 0% chance. After which, of course, they start aging. They're aging and deteriorating. So we think that's a much better system. It's a system that is certainly was the last one that was being discussed, and we believe is the one that is coming in. But there's obviously testing being done on that.
Yeah.
It won't come in definitely until next season, because we can't really change or do a massive change like that in the middle of a season when people have already renewed contracts and things. That would be very, very awkward. So that is coming. If it is not that, what I've just said, it will be something similar to it.
Yeah.
Special Community asks, when will we have Argentinian teams?
The funny thing is, we actually do have Argentinian teams, but they're not in the live server yet.
We've been waiting on that area, as sort of an expansion of teams in that area, for a little while, guys. So they'll be coming in.
Yeah, we're still waiting on some assets to complete what we want to do with the Argentinians and other teams of that area.
Other teams from the South American region. So that's before the Uruguayans and the Chileans start yelling at us. It's not just it's just like, you pick Brazil and now you just stick with Argentina. It's only the big boys. You don't care about the rest of us. No, it's more in line with, we're just waiting for everything to be done in terms of all the assets that are required.
Yeah, I think once we release the new teams of those areas, that a lot of players will be happy, because we do have some great names in there.
Yeah, there's some really great team names, historical team names in there as well. So you'll be pleased. So patience, Argentinian fans.
Yeah.
So
I would say it in Spanish, but I would just make an ass of myself. So as I do.
I would say it in Spanish, but it would sound suspiciously like English. Dibizal says, it's a revisit of a previous question, actually. So I scout an 18-year-old player. I signed him in a 1-year deal and instantly renew his contract for, say, 3 seasons. So he increases during the first off-season, as I renewed his contract. After this, he will increase. Will he increase in the following seasons, or do I have to renew him again for him to increase again? It's when you renew the contract. Yep. So he's 18 years old. He's only got 1 season, so you renew him. He turns 19 and he improves. In 3 seasons' time, it'll be 20, 21, 22. So just before he turns 23, you renew his contract again.
And he'll improve again.
And he'll improve again during the off-season. So he'll turn 23 and he'll improve again. And at the current point, that's where it ends. But obviously that will change. In the future. So, yes. Carl asked a very in-depth question relating to logical and artistic and independent and sort of team player aspects to do the personality, and I'm not overly sure what you mean by this.
I think the question was how much difference it makes.
It would entirely depend, I believe, upon the formation. I think it's another formation relating aspect. If there's a formation that requires more integral play, then I'm guessing that a more team-based as opposed to a more individual-based player would do better. What we will do, I think, is we'll actually hand this one over to the dev team.
Yeah, and have them answer it.
And we'll get an answer to you from them. Perhaps we could do an FAQ actually on this. Not that it's a frequently asked question, but at the very least, then it'll be sort of a depository of knowledge item. So yes, this is not one that we actually can answer. So there is questions that we can't. But we'll look into this. So what is the factor? If we can get the factor explained, we will do. Again, Carl says about zombie teams. So we have that solution coming in. Toddy also asks, I know we're running out of time, but Toddy also asks, any hint how the new aging system might work? Well, it's very handy because I've already told you. It would be nice to be able to plan renewals starting as early as possible. Winky smiley. So again, not yet. And of course you wouldn't know what your renewal would be until it actually arrived, so...
Yeah.
Dealing with zombies, we've already done that. Actually, yes, that's all questions done. So, what are your hopes for the rest of the season, Natchai?
Well, currently I'm doing quite alright. Doing better than last season, that's for sure. I'm now at about 6th in the league and 2nd in Rising Star Cup.
Nice.
So I hope to play somewhere high in the Rising Star Cup again, get some rewards for that, and possibly end up high enough in the league as well. But I don't think that'll be the case.
I think I came runner-up again last season, which may or may not have influenced one of the achievements I wrote down. But we'll see. We'll see for this season. I think I'm in PES again, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get through the qualifying rounds.
Really?
Yeah. Last time I checked, I had won one, lost one, and was in 3rd in the group. So, so that means that people have had a win and a draw, I guess, to be ahead of me. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm not sure what's going to happen. No boots, no backup, 12 contract renewals. It's not going to be pretty.
No.
And my team is going to look very different to what it does this season. However, in your history, you can now actually see the squads that you had.
That's pretty cool.
That's your squad and the way they were laid out and everything, even the formation you were using. If you've been in the game since the beginning, like us and you're one of the senior guys, then it's just fun looking back at your very first season, just seeing how much that team has changed since then.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all for this season's podcast.
Yeah.
So we wish you the best in the remaining of the season. We're back soon with more questions,
more updates,
probably, and some more answers for you.
Yeah.
But yes, best of luck for the future, guys. Speak to you very soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.